he does it a number of times. He has a nice monument of him at Notre Dame, but the original monument is on Union Avenue, because sculptors have a habit of doing an original and selling a set. So what he does, what they will habitually do, they will kneel out in front, then advance their flag, the United States flag, and they will go to the green flag with a gold harp on it, and he will give them absolution. This man is feeling good. He's just got absolution. So when he gets finished, he'll warn you, men showing cowardice in the face of the enemy will be eternally damned. So that means that Stan would be very careful now. And reputedly, the Irish Brigade will become one of the brigades that gets the closest to the Confederate line. Anything to read about the Irish Brigade?
Nothing from the Irish Brigade. How about we do some Confederate stuff?
Okay.
Okay. Now this is from the report of Brigadier General Joseph Kershaw, who brought his troops down here to reinforce Thomas R. Cobb's brigade. And upon finding out that Cobb was seriously wounded, General McLaws told him to take overall command in this sector. He describes the terrain. Just look around as I'm reading this.
Now remember,
he really truly understands what he's getting
there are no buildings.
No buildings in front of us.
The only thing here is Martha Stevens.
And he says, I proceeded as rapidly as possible to the scene of the action, reaching the position at Stevens' house at the moment that Colonel Kennedy arrived with the 2nd and 8th South Carolina regiments, and just in time to meet a fresh assault of the enemy. Can everyone hear me?
Yeah.
The position was excellent. Marie's Hill, covered with our batteries, falls off abruptly toward Fredericksburg to a stone wall, which forms a terrace on the side of the hill and the outer margin of the Telegraph Road, which winds along the foot of the hill. The road is about some 25 feet wide and is faced by a stone wall about 4 feet high on the city side. The road having been cut out of the side of the hill, in many places the slashed wall is not visible above the surface of the ground. The ground falls off rapidly to almost a level surface, which extends about 150 yards, then with another abrupt fall of a few feet to another plain which extends some 200 yards, and then falls off abruptly into a wide ravine which extends along the whole front of the city and discharges into Hazel Run. I found on my arrival that Cobb's brigade occupied our entire front, and my troops could only get into position by doubling on them. This was accordingly done, and the formation along most of the line during the engagement was consequently 4 deep. As an evidence of the coolness of the command, notwithstanding that their fire was the most rapid and continuous I have ever witnessed, not a man was injured by the fire of his comrades. So nobody shot anybody in the back of it.
Now remember, what they got there, you have one line standing against the stone wall firing. You have another line behind it, firing probably between this man and the other guy, like that. And then another line behind him. And what they can do is they can load and step up. The people in the 4th line will have loaded. The men in the front line will have fired. They'll drop all the way back and become the 4th line. The 2nd line becomes the 1st line. The 3rd line becomes the 2nd line. The 4th line becomes the 3rd line. And the guys with the 1st are loading again, so they can fire just as fast as you do with your 3rd line.
And unlike in the movie Gods and Generals, of which Ed and I were both historical consultants, the Irish on this side of the wall did not cheer the Irish, including that Hungarian by the name of Borat, on that side of the wall. Did y'all see the movie?
Yeah.
See what I'm
I
talking
never
about?
saw it, unfortunately.
Yeah, Gabor Boris.
Yeah, I'm a coward.
Well, everything that was wrong, we blamed on you anyway. So.
Any questions?
Ed.
All right, let's continue.
Yeah, Ed.
Question.
Ed.
Question from Stan.
When I was here in 54,
Stan.
there were parts of the road that was something. Did they fill them in or what? They filled this road in. I was here in 54, from about here up to Oak Street tomorrow. The road was below the level.
They've done a lot of repair and rebuilding the wall.
No, the road I'm talking about.
All right, up
the road
until
is below
about
level,
8
if you look.
years ago, you could not stand out here because some clown would run over you with a car.
Yeah.
The Park Service was not able to close this road to vehicular traffic until about 8 years ago.
I was here in 54, and I'm sure part of this road was sunk. They must have filled some of it in.
No, well, if you look, it is sunk. See, there's the grade over there.
I mean, it was...
See, that ravine was there.
Not all the way, but there were spots in one.
See, the road is sunken here. That ravine was there. That ravine separates Marie's Heights from Willis Hill. This is Willis Hill.
The famous photograph you see of the dead Confederates, that's from the Second Battle of Fredericksburg, May of '63. And in that, it looks like there's a trench. What Eric Mink said yesterday in his presentation, if you weren't there, is that was a drainage ditch. Yeah. And quite possibly the Confederates then dug some of that out. But they couldn't put the drainage ditch back in because it had been destroyed when they put in water pipes back in 1930. That's why you don't see it here yet.